Welcome back, everybody. This week, we're back to the 4001 series to take a look at Dark Green from Pelikan. Here we have the standard 30ml bottle, purchased at a discount from channel sponsor Chalet, and I was actually going to go with a different color, but a YouTube comment brought me along to this one. Now, you all know that I'm really picky when it comes to green, so even though it's a budget ink, I'm going to be far more strict with this than I'd probably be with an orange or a purple. Now, obviously Pelikan wins me over with the bottle shape, and even without the sponsor discount, this is definitely in lines with being a good budget ink. And so far, the 4001 series has given me a few surprises, like the water resistance in the 4001 turquoise, or the water resistance in violet for that matter. But are we going to get any pleasant surprises from dark green? I guess the best way to find out is to jump right into the writing sample. Now, I can't tell if the ink drop is promising or if it's setting me up for seeing this as kind of a middle-of-the-road green. On the darker portions, we're definitely getting a red sheen. Well, kind of getting a red sheen. And in the mid-dark tones, we're definitely signing this up to be a little bit more of a darker green. And the shading lines from the nib are also showing us that this ink is trending towards the darker side of green. But I will say it doesn't look like we're seeing any of that sheen from the broad nib, at least on these particular ones. Now, looking at the real-world performance, we finally get to see a little bit more of the lighter shades of this green, and it looks to me more like a sea green than it does a dark green. I like the flow that we're getting from this ink, and in the 3 converters of it that I've put through this pen, I haven't had any skipping or hard starting. Now, let's see how the lubrication affects this ink's dry time. On Tomoe River paper, it's definitely taking longer to dry than I would like, but it's still not bad. We've seen inks hit the 1-minute mark here on the channel, so this definitely falls into a more medium, slightly slow dry time. I mean, I would like to see this ink drying a little quicker from a broad nib, especially if it was going to top my chart for green inks. But let's see if this slow dry time also gives us any issues with water resistance. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a fresh writing sample on the page along with the prepared writing and see what we get. Okay, so this quality really does make up for the dry time. As is the case with most of the inks we've seen here, the color's gone. But look at the line it leaves behind. This is going to make it really easy to recover my writing in case I do what I normally do and end up spilling a drink all over everything sitting in front of me. I mean, between me being clumsy and always finding myself with paper exposed to water, this green actually just made its way into the regular rotation. Good job, Pelikan. Overall, Dark green is actually kind of another good mark for the 4001 series. If you have a broad nib, it will definitely live up to the name and potentially give you some sheen. You can count on it to hold up in a watery situation, and the only real thing I would change would be that dry time. On Tomoe, I would really like to see it under the 20-second mark, and, with this one, I was kind of hoping that the ink would be consistently darker than what we get on the label. But aside from those two things, it's a good cart filler and a good ink to throw into the rotation. So that's it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the links down below to support the channel. Also, if you like podcasts, check out Two Guys Zero Planners on your podcast player of choice. I'll see you next week.